they've managed to gain control over several different industries, General Motors and AIG. Is a new role of the federal government to run private industry?
Seems like it, doesn't it? Well, it's not my idea. I don't believe the Constitution has anything in it about running General Motors or running the credit card companies or this or that. And that's a real problem I have with what's going on now. I never thought I'd see the day like I saw about a month or so, a couple months ago, when you saw the headline that President Obama was demanding the resignation of the chairman of General Motors. I never thought I'd see the day in America when something like that could happen. But that's what we've got. This administration is in a rush to take over, I believe, as much of our economy as they can, because I think it fits their philosophy that the government needs to be in control of as many aspects of our lives as possible. Now, they say they're doing it for our good, they just say they're doing it to help us, but as Ronald Reagan once said, that's the worst thing you can ever hear, is somebody at your door saying, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. That's the last thing you want to hear. Yes, there are things the government can do. We have a social safety net. I think a country as rich and wealthy as ours, we do have a safety net. Nobody should be starving in the streets, and nobody should, everybody should have a basic of life. But the bottom line is the government can't be everything to everybody. In a free society, you can't have a government in control of everything and still have your freedoms. And I'm very concerned that I call it mission creep. If you look at my website, that's one of the things we talk about, is the expansion of the role of the federal government. And it just, each year, it gets more and more. It takes in more control over different aspects. And to me, that's very concerning, of course, but I'm a conservative. I'm someone that believes that in less government, lower taxes, and more personal freedom.
Well, tell us, Rob, how can a Republican candidate and hopefully Republican congressman from District 17 affect such growth? How can you affect the changes in Washington in this regard? Well,
the number one thing, the bottom line when you get to Washington is numbers. We are right now, District 17 is surrounded by good conservative Republican congressmen. Our goal, my goal in winning this seat is to get to Washington on a conservative platform. What people see is what they get. I'm a conservative. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not running from it. I believe in it. My goal is to get to Washington and work with those congressmen surrounding us that believe the same way I do, and work with the other conservative congressmen in Washington, join their numbers, and get things done with that. We've got folks, Jeb Henserling, Pete Sessions, Sam Johnson, Ted Poe, Michael Burgess. We can work together with those folks, and you join with their numbers, and you can get conservative things done. We can start holding the line against Obama and Pelosi. But the bottom line is we've got to start right here in District 17. We've got to take this seat back. Nancy Pelosi literally has more representation here in District 17 than the average voter in this area, because she's calling the shots for Congressman Edwards. So my goal is to get us a representative that will work with other conservatives up there to advance the conservative agenda and stand firm against the continuous onward march of the left-wing agenda that's been going on since the 1960s. We've got to start fighting back. The country that my father grew up in is virtually gone. The country that I grew up in is quickly disappearing. And I shudder to think about the country that our kids are growing up in today, because we've let the left wing just continue to advance on us, and conservatives have just been playing defense the whole way and backing up. I think it's time we started getting folks up there that believe like I believe most Central Texans believe. Let's get our agenda out there. Let's start pushing our agenda, and let's start pushing back on them for a while instead of us being always on our heels and on defense. So that's what I want to do. I want to get somebody that represents our values and work with those that also share our values up in Washington.